Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurum Nilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya De Satarine हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुवश्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं श्रीपरमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम्। हरे कृष्ण। I welcome all of you to our morning cold morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. Calcutta is becoming very cold. Last 1 or 2 days we had very nice rain showers. So we were discussing last class how the demigods, they finally could not take to the real advice of Vishnu, and finally Lord Vishnu, being compassionate and being always desirous to help the living entities advance based on their own capacity. You see, everyone has his own capacity to advance and progress in life. And everyone should be given the opportunity to advance based on his own capacity. Like I remember when we used to do coaching for getting students into IIT. All the coaching industry is based on the fact that they actually make different various levels of students, the A1 batch, A2 batch, A3 batch, and then the B1 batch, and then the B2 batch, and B3 batch. And based on the level of the students, they categorize, they classify the batches, and then they allocate teachers who can accordingly teach these batches. So exactly in the same way, Lord Vishnu arranges the various facilities for the living entities to advance in Krishna consciousness, advance in bhakti, advance and progress towards spiritual world. See, the goal of life is to go back to Godhead. But to go back to Godhead is not possible in one day. And that is why the Lord arranges various options. The Lord arranges for the living entities the demigods. And one may say that if the Lord wants all of us to go back to Godhead, why He has created such a wonderful facilities of the demigods and the worship of the demigods, and to get all the material facilities? Because the Lord wants ultimately the living entity to progress towards spiritual world. And based on the level of the living entity is given opportunity to progress further. So that is why Lord, though He was internally not fully satisfied with the prayers of the demigods, that the demigods are asking for something which is not worthy of asking. They are not, demigods are not some ordinary living entities. They know everything, and since they know everything, they're already telling many things about it. They are already telling that the Paramahamsas want to go back to Godhead, but still they are asking. And the Lord, being very compassionate, is fulfilling their desires by sending them to Dadichi. And Dadichi is approached by the demigods. The first thing the demigods ask, when you go to a person with a desire to get something, you would like to ensure that you get your things done. Yes, you would not like to ensure that you go there and fail. No one wants to fail in life. So the first thing that the demigods tell to Dadichi, that we are sent by Lord Vishnu. Oh, you are sent by Lord Vishnu? Yes, we are sent by Lord Vishnu. Like sometimes, especially in the government offices, it happens like that. When you go to a government office and you are dealing with some officer, and we know how in Indian government system and the offices they work. The first thing generally people say that आपको पता है उनके बारे में, do you know that person, your boss or some minister or something? No, yes. Actually, I am his nephew. Oh, you are his nephew? Okay, sorry. Hey, chai mangwa to. And then things go ahead very fast. So exactly in the same way, the demigods, knowing that Dadichi has a lot of respect for Lord Vishnu and he is a great devotee of Lord Vishnu, demigods, the first thing they say is that we have been sent by Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu has asked, we have no desire actually. We are desireless. We don't even want anything. Lord Vishnu has asked us to tell you the wonderful news that you must die instantly and give your bones to us. Oh, when did Lord Vishnu desire for the death of so many people? Are you sure that? Now, yes, Lord Vishnu came and he spoke, and so many demigods are witness, and we demigods don't tell lies. Because if we tell lies, we cannot maintain our position as demigods. So, you know that we don't tell lies. We are very, very honest. And Lord Vishnu came and he has instructed and he has appointed us to communicate that instruction to all of you. We are just messengers of this wonderful instructions. We do not have any selfish desire to. We are just coming to express our selfless desire to relay Lord Vishnu's instructions to you. We are just coming to relay. We are very, very selfless. Hare Krishna. Am I audible? We are just very, very selfless. And with this, Dadhichi says that, don't you know how much pain it comes, one has to endure at the time of death? Are you really sure that Vishnu has asked like that? Or you missed out the instruction? The body goes through severe pain. One of the Puranas, our Acharyas comment in this section, that it states that when 40,000 scorpions are biting you at one point of time together, the pain that you endure. I have not been bitten by a scorpion. How many of you, anyone has bitten by a scorpion? Yes, anyone? Anyone? Oh, so you cannot relate. I don't know how a scorpion bites, but for me, even an ant bites me, it's really, really painful. And especially Gosala's ants are really powerful. One time we had kept one box which is made of plastic, hard plastic, like you remember the boxes that we give prasadam, hard that Mahaprasadam boxes, white color. Hare Krishna. Am I audible? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh, shall I switch? Okay, let me try the other broadband. Okay. Okay, now things are clear. Please tell yes. Yes, okay, that's good. So, so one time we had kept, I had kept some laddus, some special laddus in that white colored boxes that we give prasadam. And it was like completely sealed. And I thought that nothing will happen, no ants will come. And I was amazed. The ants actually made hole in the plastic and entered and took the entire sweet. That is the power of the ants of Gosala. And just imagine what will be the power of scorpions of Gosala and of the villages and countryside. The scorpions. One time in my childhood, I remember I read a poem, and the poem was based on karma of a lady. I don't know, you all, if you have gone through ICAC course, then this poem by Nissim Ezekiel, one lady, this poem, the night with scorpion or something like that. This poem, the entire poem is based on the pain that one goes through when one is bitten by a scorpion. And finally the lady consoles herself. This is, the writer is a foreigner. Finally the lady consoles herself, telling that, oh, my so much of bad karma is going away by the pain of this scorpion bite. But scorpion bites are very, very painful. And 40,000 scorpion bites together, the pain is the pain, minimum pain of the death. There can be maximum pain. This is the minimum pain that one endures, one has to endure at the time of death. So, Dadichi is telling to demigods, and you are asking me to die? And Vishnu, who would do such a thing? Even if Vishnu is telling, whoever is telling, the goal of life is to be happy. And why I will die? I would better live and do some service to Vishnu, which will ensure that I don't die. That will be better. I don't think I should die. And it is so painful. I don't think I'm not prepared to go through the pain of death right now. If it comes normally, then fine. And anyway, death is actually the incarnation, the messenger of Vishnu. He is the Vishnu actually sends death to remind us the mistake we did of leaving him and coming to this material world. Death is a signal, death is a sign that we are in a wrong place. Yes. So anyway, death is going to come, and anyway I will embrace death. But why now? It's so painful. I'm not ready. Thank you very much for coming to my ashram. And the demigods were not knowing. They were not expecting such an answer. They were thinking that it will be just a cakewalk, because Vishnu has told, and Dadichi is a great Vaishnava, and why he will not follow? It's a cakewalk. And then the demigods speak a really, really, really wonderful verse in terms of cryptography, in terms of cryptography of words. This verse really, really has very, very deep meaning. We will recite that verse. Just let me say it. This is 6th canto, 10th chapter, the 6th number verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nyunam Swartho Paraloko Na Veda Parasankatam Yadi Veda Naya Cheta Naha Neti Naha Yadishvara. Yes. Please read the translation.
Those who are too self-interested beg something from others, not knowing of others' pain. But if the beggar knew the difficulty of the giver, he would not ask for anything. Similarly, who is able to give charity does not know the beggar's difficulty. for otherwise he would not refuse to give the beggar anything he might want as charity.
Yeah, such a, such a, only the demigods can speak this verse. We will discuss in detail about this verse. If you read the verse, it's really not understanding what they are going to speak. But Dadichi understood, and uh, and Dadichi will say, "Oh, I was just joking to hear some very good words from you." So the demigods are telling here that you are completely correct, that the person who is begging for charity, like for example, you have very good relationship with another person. Imagine your best friend, and you have very good relationship with him, and you know that your best friend is going through a serious financial crisis. Serious, it's really serious. He has lost his job, he wanted to start a business, and the business was not going proper. He invested a lot of money in the business. Now he's completely on loan, and he has no job, and he's in a serious financial crisis. He's struggling really financially, and you are his best friend, and he also considers you as his genuine well-wisher and best friend. And you fully are aware of the pain and difficulty of his financial crisis. And you go to his house and ask him, "Can I get 1 lakh rupees?" So, how he would feel? He can't say you yes because he himself is in such a condition. He can't tell you no because because of the relationships, and he doesn't want to break the relationship. So the demigods are telling you are true, that a person should first consider the pain of others before asking for charity. One should not ask charity if that charity is going to be very, very painful for the person, for the donor. The donor may give the charity, but if it is too painful, if he's going through a crisis, then the beggar should be sensitive enough to not ask such a charity which will give pain to the donor. So first of all, demigods tell to Dadichi that whatever you are saying is completely correct. But then the next part is really wonderful. And then the demigods are telling, but there is another principle also. This is based on the person who is begging for charity. But someone who is giving charity, the donor, he must understand and he must sympathize with the pain of the person who is going to receive charity, the beggar. So the donor must understand the pain of the beggar, because if my friend is aware of my financial crisis, he is fully aware that I am going through severe financial crisis, and still he has taken the courage of coming to my house and begging for 1 lakh rupees, then I must understand that how much more pain he must be undergoing to beg me money even after knowing that I am going through a serious financial crisis. Just see how wonderful are the demigods in putting their words. Yes, how many of you really liked? If you read the translation and slokas, you'll not understand what they are speaking because they are demigods. Like Saraswati is like Saraswati is another demigoddess, and Indra is the king of the demigods. So that means Saraswati is just a servant, employee, payroll under Indra. And you can imagine what type of word jugglery it is. The first thing that demigods are actually appreciating, yes, the Dhichi we understand. Don't think that we do not know. We are the in charge of this entire universe, which is called Martya Loka, the universe of death. And we very well know the pain of death. But knowing everything, we are coming to ask you the bones. That means you must understand what more pain we are going through. Actually, for someone who is honored, dishonor is worse than death, Dadichi. And you will never understand. You are a simple sadhu or a rishi. You have never experienced what is the beauty and glamour and glitter of heavenly life. And please understand our pain. So it's true that the beggar should be sensitive to ask the donor, understanding the pain. But if the beggar is aware of the pain of the donor and still he is asking, then the donor must understand that the pain of the beggar is much more than the donor. And please give your bones. Amazing. If that friend which I was giving example of taking 1 lakh rupees is was telling that came for and asking 1 lakh rupees to this friend who is going through financial crisis because he wanted to get money for his immediate he needed immediate money for the operation of his mother, then it sounds logical and is fine. But imagine this friend is coming to this friend and asking for 1 lakh of rupees because he already has a car, but he just wants a bike for doing his nearby purchases and everything. And this person is asking, why did you ask 1 lakh? No, I want to have another bike because going in car to these sabji mandi is becoming difficult. So you want a bike? You already have a car, and this is why you are asking 1 lakh rupees to me. This is exactly the demigods are asking the Dhichi. You give your body so that we can enjoy the heavenly pleasures. It's not that the demigods are devoid of everything. You see, when there is when the demons attack the demigods, So it's not that the demigods are gone, just like I was talking with one devotee, and he was sharing that in one of the company, one person was having some pay scale, and he was given a transfer because there was some ego classes with his boss and everything, and he was given a transfer to another post which has the same pay scale, which has the same benefits in terms of money, but in the first post he was handling employees more than 5,000 employees maybe are under him, and in the second post he's just an employee and no one is employed under him. So that's how the demigods go through. It's not that the demigods are not having any enjoyment and they are just beggars now, Bhagwan ke naam pe kuch de de re baba, and it's not like that. They have everything, just they don't have power and authority to manage the entire universe. That's it. So we can simply imagine how much the demigods are obsessed of heavenly administration and power. And we can also conclude that how much obsessive can be selfish, sensuous, heavenly enjoyment. And that is why anyone who is desirous of going back to Godhead must be very, very careful of not indulging or aspiring for heavenly places. That's extremely dangerous. This this principle of getting into heaven, many of our acharyas have spoken elaborately at length that, oh Lord, if you really want to give me a benediction, don't send me to heavenly planets. It's very, very difficult to remember you in heavenly planets. Whatever, if I'm not qualified to go to Vrindavan Dham, if I'm not qualified to go to Vaikuntha, please, please, please ensure me to stay on this earth, which is an extremely conducive place for performing devotional service at your lotus feet. I am acquiring I am acquiring serious pious credits by serving you, by doing some bhakti. But may that pious credits may not result in offering me heaven and heavenly enjoyment, because that is spiritual suicide. I am going those period when I will be in heaven, I don't think I'll be able to remember you at all. That's why serious, sincere seekers of bhakti and devotion and service to Krishna aspire only to stay on earth and perform devotional service, and do not aspire to go back, to go to the heaven and go through the heavenly places. So in this way, the demigods, they speak this such philosophy that yes, 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 we know, but there is also a higher philosophy, And because you are Rishi, the Dhichi, it's expected that you feel our pain in a much better way than we feeling your pain. Because you are sadhu. We definitely are feeling pain, but as a sadhu, it's your duty to feel more pain than our pain. Please give your body. Hare Krishna. And that's how this sixth canto is called Utaya. How the material desires are so strong and can be so obsessive and can make the living entity go through serious embarrassment. And then the Dhichi, Sukadeva Goswami says, the Dhichi says that I was just testing you to hear the philosophy. And he was very, very happy and smiling to hear the philosophy, which was not really up to the mark, but still he was happy to understand from the demigods the value of compassion. And that is why the Dhichi is going to give an entire lecture or seminar, a short seminar of 3 verses on elaborating on the second aspect of demigods, what the demigods spoke. Demigods actually spoke 2 things. The first thing is the beggar should be sympathizing the pain of the donor. And the second aspect is the donor should sympathize the pain of the beggar. But because the donor is a sage and the beggars are just selfish people, so that is why a sage is expected to be more compassionate. And sage is the second principle is more applicable here than the first principle. That was the logic of the demigods. Both the principles are correct, first and second. But the second principle is more applicable here because you are sage Dadhichi. So, Dadhichi Muni further elaborates on this principle of going through pain and offering service to others. And Dadhichi Muni is elaborating on this fact. So we will be discussing the verses what Dadhichi Muni is speaking. 10.7, Dadhichi is congratulating the demigods for speaking a wonderful philosophy. And 10.8, 9 and 10, 3 verses, Dadhichi Muni is giving a short seminar on the value of selfless compassion. So, any other devotee can repeat after me. Yo dhruvena atmana natha. Anyone else? Na dharmam na yasah puman. Iheta bhuta dayaya. Sa socha sthavarairapi. Yes, please read.
O demigods, one who has no compassion for humanity in its suffering and does not sacrifice his impermanent body for the higher causes of religious
Demigods, you are speaking right, you are speaking right. it is true. Sa sochya sthavarerapi. Anyone who has got the capacity to offer compassion, he has got the capacity to offer something. And if he is not offering it because of the fear of the pain that he has to go through for offering it, then that person is being done pitied, मतलब छी, you know, छी, ऐसा है क्या? We do sometimes like this, pitied by even the trees. Why the trees? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains that the trees are very, very special. Though the trees are uh, considered one of the most degraded species, because those who really, really commit serious and very, very severe crime in universe, they are given uh, the life of trees, the body of a tree. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, quoting Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, is explaining, quoting Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is quoting from Krishna, telling in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 10th canto, Krishna is asking all his friends when he is grazing cows in Vrindavan Dham. Krishna is calling, Hey Amsu, Hey Subal, Hey Sridama, look at the trees. Let's think about the greatness of these trees. And then Krishna is telling that just see these trees. These trees are actually, they go through so much of pain. They go through summer and winter and rainy season and everything. They go through all this pain just to offer service to everyone. What a glorious life they are living. And then Krishna says that this is the standard of human life. Civilized human life means to offer service in whatever way one can, based on praner, arther, dhiya, vachaha. One must ensure that whatever physically one is having some energy, he must ensure that physical energy is spent not just in giving comfort to one's own self, but in giving some service to others. Similarly, arther, one should see that one's finances are just not used to just spend selfishly on oneself or one's family, but it should be used as a charity for helping others. Praner arthe dhiya. One's intelligence should not be just used to how to increase one's own self comfort, rather to help others relieve of the pain. And vachaha, that is the words. One should utilize one's words to give comfort and service to others. And these trees, they have, just like there are 4 assets of a human being. Pran, he has his physical body. Artha, he has his financial power. we have physical power, we have financial power, dhiya, we have intellectual power, and vacha, we have the power to influence others. These are the four powers every individual has. Yes, we see in this world who are most powerful are people who are having pranayar, they are physically very, very fit, or they are giving seminars on how to be physically fit, or they are like wrestling, or they are doing something and they're physically very, very fit. Right? So pranayar. Arthair. Arthair is financial power, the capitalist, the businessman. They rule the entire world. Right? Money is power. Dhiya, intelligence, the scientist. They're so powerful. And vacha, the celebrities. Whether one is a celebrity in terms of Bollywood, in acting, vacha, they are able to speak very nicely. Or one is a politician who may not have any qualification whatsoever in terms of money or intelligence, but he has the power to mesmerize people. So these are four prominent powers, or maybe the four powers that an individual has, every individual has. But every individual must ensure that these four powers, in whatever capacity one has, should not be only used for one's own selfish gratification. And just see the trees. The trees, they have leaves, they have their branches, they have their trunk, they have their twigs, they have their fruits, they have their flowers. In all aspects, the trees offer selfless enjoyment to others, whatever they have. And Krishna is glorifying. And Dadichi Muni, that is why, is using the example of the trees just to say that you see the trees, they are immovable. You see, he is not mentioning the trees as trees. He is mentioning a specific word to denote those who are trees. That is sthavarair. Sthavarair matlab constant. Sthavar matlab constant. They cannot move, immovable. So the trees, any individual who is completely dedicated for his own selfish enjoyment or for the selfish enjoyment of his family, the trees are telling, अरे खड़े होके हम इतना सेवा कर दे रहे, चल चल के तुम कितना सेवा कर सकता है नालायक कहीं का. In this way, it's just to paraphrase the verse in Hindi. नालायक, अरे हमको देखो खड़े होके इतना सेवा कर दिया, तुम चल पा रहा है, घूम पा रहा है, nothing you are doing, at least do something. If we could have walked like you, how much service we would have rendered. We feel sometimes bad that the persons have to come to us to take our fruits. We cannot go to a person to give our fruits. But you have the capacity to move around and deliver whatever you have as a service to others, and you are still sitting in one corner of your room and not going out and distributing Srila Prabhupada's books. So you are really, really worthless lot. Just because December month is there, and December month we are supposed to really ensure, and we do some preaching of ensuring that Bhagavad Gita is being spoken and distributed and delivered. So the trees are speaking in this way that you can move and you are just simply sitting in one place. And that's why compassion means to actually extend ourselves to go and give what we have to people. We see when we are practicing spirituality, bhakti, after many months or years, we realize the value of spirituality. The very fact that you are all coming every week and giving the time and energy to practice bhakti proves that you are really giving importance to spirituality. That's a very, very important. You are seriously understanding the importance of spirituality. But going ahead, one who understands the importance and seriousness of practice of spirituality must understand that I have now got something very special and I must try helping in distributing this to the entire world. Otherwise, the trees will be feeling pity on us. That छी 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 छी, इतना अच्छा भक्ति कर रहा है घर में बैठ के, एक बार भी किसी को भी नहीं बोल रहा है भक्ति करने के लिए. छी 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 छी. So we must ensure, and often the primary hindrance to offer selfless compassion to others in terms of giving spiritual knowledge to others is that we think that why I will be a disturbance in his life. उसको जब मन करेगा तब वो भक्ति में आएगा. Why I would pressurize anyone? Why I would interfere in his independence? Let him do whatever. Yes, we all think like this. That, oh ठीक है, उसको जो करना है करो. Why I would at all interfere in the independence of that living entity? Go and tell him that read this Bhagavad Gita. He is not interested. When he will be interested, he will anyway come, and then I am ready to give. But that will never happen. The living entities in this material world will never become interested in spirituality. And if we really want to please Lord Vishnu, Krishna, that is why in the Gopi Geet, the gopis are criticizing Brahma, who has for no mistake at all. They're criticizing that this Brahma is such a horrible creator. He has put these eyelids because of which we are not able to see Krishna, because the eyelids have to blink. And when they blinks, we are not able to see Krishna. And the same gopis in the Gopi Geet who are criticizing Brahma, they are appreciating those people who deliver the message of love of Krishna to everyone. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavi viriditam kalmashafaham Shravanamangalam Srimadaatatam Bhuvi grinanti ye Bhurida jana Bhuvi grinanti ye Bhurida jana. So the gopis are telling Bhurida, 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 Bhar bhar ke, Bhuri in Sanskrit, Bhar bhar ke, Da, best, best donor, best donor, best donor, best person. The gopis are considering Brahma as not the best person. Actually, Brahma is the best person in the entire universe. They're criticizing Brahma, who is the best person in the entire universe, and they are glorifying one who is delivering and who is speaking about Krishna to others, or one who is making an attempt from his own side. In this material world, no one is interested to hear about Krishna. But knowing the very fact that no one is interested to know about Krishna, if someone is from his own side trying his level best to help others to know about Krishna, the gopis are telling they are the best persons in the entire universe. And gopis are the best devotees of Krishna, and they know how to please Krishna the best. So we must understand that to show compassion by speaking about Krishna, by sharing the message of love of Krishna with others, even if people are not interested, trying to make uninterested people interested through our good behavior, through our wonderful service attitude, through our gestures, through our loving smiles, through our an attempt in helping them in their material life, if somehow or other we can help uninterested people who are completely uninterested about spirituality and hearing about Krishna, little bit interested to hear about Krishna, we should understand that we will get the maximum mercy of Krishna and the best devotees of Krishna, the gopis. A little attempt in helping others in becoming Krishna conscious, whether they are devotees or non-devotees, and especially non-devotees, because there comes the biggest challenge and biggest obstacle. And wherever there is the biggest challenge and the biggest obstacle, there is the biggest opportunity also to receive the mercy of Krishna. Krishna wanted to bless Srila Prabhupada with his unlimited mercy. And that's why Krishna made Srila Prabhupada to fail in India for 44 years. How many of you have really the courage to fail 44 years and still have the courage to start something new? That's what is the glory of Srila Prabhupada. Krishna made him to fail in India for 44 years, to go to a country where people are simply not even knowing about Krishna. Forget about thinking about spirituality. They don't even know who is Krishna. In India, at least people know who is Krishna. They know all nonsense about Krishna, but at least they know the word Krishna. So Krishna arranged Srila Prabhupada to go to West so that he can get the maximum mercy of the gopis and the parampara and Krishna himself and Srimati Radharani. So it's for sure that people will be uninterested in practice of Krishna consciousness. And if we as devotees who have got this glorious opportunity, this glorious gift of Krishna Bhakti, of the practice of spirituality, and this glorious opportunity to ourselves go back to Godhead and help others to go back to Godhead, if we are not helping others, finding newer and newer means to help others to connect with Krishna, our life will be pitied by even the trees. The trees will be in their Ishtagosti, in their management circle, when they give examples of degraded species, they will give example that these human beings, you see these Vaishnavas of Dasosmi family, we really feel pity about them. They do nice bhakti, they do chanting, and they do yatras and they do celebrations. They really hear Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. But when it comes to giving bhakti to others, they are ठीक है. When people come, we will give. They are really not interested. Chi. They are not that glorious. And giving Krishna, helping others to connect to Krishna is an art which comes out only when a person sincerely prays to Srimati Radharani and Krishna to help him or her to help others. We must sincerely, seriously pray to Srimati Radharani, because she is the mother of compassion. Whatever compassion we may have or we can have is all a fragment of Srimati Radharani's compassion for all the living entities. We must understand that we are assisting Srimati Radharani, the mother of all the living entities, to help others to connect to the Divine Mother and Father. How much Krishna and Radharani will be pleased with us. And to help people connect to Krishna is an art. We can make nice cakes and offer them to Krishna and feed everyone cakes. And people will take cakes, they don't even know what they're taking, and they're getting Krishna. Because a devotee with sincere devotion has prepared that cake, praying that, "Oh Krishna, please ensure that this cake of mine creates magic in their hearts." That should be the slogan of someone making a cake. If we know singing very nicely, we must sing so nicely, praying to Krishna that, "Oh Krishna, you have given a voice to me. It is you who has given a voice to me. I pray to you that may this voice become so attractive and enchanting to that person that this person irresistibly gets attracted to Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And all the Bollywood songs in his life become pale and dull for him." Please bless me. If we have some finances, some money, we must pray, "Oh Krishna, please help me and give me intelligence how I can use this money which is given by you for helping others to connect to you. I can make wonderful, I can use my money to make wonderful prasadam and feed. I can use my money to help the devotees get things so that they can preach. I can help money to conduct certain festivals and seminars where people can come and assemble. Oh Krishna, please give me direction of how I can use this money so that others can get connected with you and Radharani's mercy. If I have some intelligence or if I have some influence, because I'm in a big post and influence, I must see that I must pray or find out ways how I can utilize this influence so that I can help others utilizing this influence to connect with Krishna. I had gone to Patna last week in November of 7th, and we had program in the house of a person who is representing the government, who is a member of legislative assembly. And in the evening we had Deepdan session, and generally in the Deepdan session almost like 100 people had assembled, and generally in the Deepdan session or somewhere where I'm meeting new people, I have to speak again and again, sab boliye, like I chant the Hare Krishna and then say aap sab gaiye, and then some people will chant and then I'll have to tell loudly and then everyone will chant. I have to inspire and encourage and then people will chant. But here in Patna, this small king of one sector sitting among 100 people, he was clapping his hands and chanting Hare Krishna, and that effect, because of his influence, that had such an effect that in the entire 2-hour session, not a single time I had to speak, please chant Hare Krishna. As soon as I was chanting Hare Krishna, everyone with unanimously was repeating, because the king of the sector was sitting. Who would want to displease the king? So in this way, if you have some influence, because of whatever material things, of whatever karma we have got, good karma, that's how we have got this, we must utilize it to help others to connect. And in that way, we will get the maximum blessings and mercy. But if we simply wait, thinking that let interested people come to me and then I will connect them to Krishna, we will be considered simply foolish and even pitied by the trees. Because the trees would think that these people are behaving more horrible than us. We are waiting because we are immovable. And if we are standing in one place and interested people who want fruits from us, they are coming and taking fruits, it sounds logical. Correct? If I am just sitting in one place and I am immovable, I cannot move, and I am ready to offer my help, and people have to come to me. But if someone can do something, if someone is movable and still he is immovable, then he is worse than us. So this verse that Sukadev Goswami is enlightening us from the words of Dadichi must inspire us to come out of laziness and mentally And physically, sometimes we have physical laziness, and often we have such serious mental laziness that we do not want to actually help others, thinking that what others will feel, they may feel pressurized. What would be my prestige? I would be considered that this person has come now. He will push me to connect to Krishna. We have this fear that people should not consider this. But we must understand where we want to become star. Do we want to become star in the eyes of people who are uninterested in Krishna consciousness, and they give us a medal that this person is very, very sensitive and he is not at all Gio or Ginedo? Like Srila Prabhupada was told by one of his disciples that, Prabhupada, when I go and give you books and tell please read these books, people often say to me that, Prabhupada, they say, I am okay, you are okay, let's keep distance. Don't disturb me. Why you are disturbing? I am okay, you are also okay, I am fine, not practicing bhakti, you are fine, practice, I am also fine that you practice bhakti, just fine. Ji or Jini do. Prabhupada said, you must tell him, I am okay and you are not okay, and I have come to make you okay. And that must be your conviction. If someone is a patient, and like I know when I was getting operated, I was telling, no, 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 no operation, no operation. And the doctor was catching, the nurse was catching, making me naked and removing my pants, and we will operate your boil. And it was like, operation. You are not okay. And I was telling, no, 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 it will get cured. No, 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 it will not get cured. It needs to be operated. So as devotees, we must have conviction. And we must use our intelligence to find such intelligent, newer techniques to really help people to connect to Krishna without even knowing or getting pressurized. Yes. We see Maya Devi, Durga Devi, Kaliraj. They are subtly affecting so much the consciousness of people. Everywhere there are so much of hoardings and boardings telling purchase this, buy this, you'll be happy. They are not pressurizing, but subtly they are pressurizing. Apparently, one may think in modern society you have a lot of freedom, but actually there is no freedom, because wherever you go, you are being bombarded that you need to do this if you want to be happy. Yes? So that's how we are. So if Durga Devi, Kaliraj, they are creating such wonderful ways of subtle inspiration, why can't as devotees? If we were not devotees and if we are employed in the outside circle, in management, in marketing, we do the same thing. What we would have done? Find out newer and newer ways to market our product. So why can't as devotees we can find out and really, really come together, be united? Srila Prabhupada said that if I get 18 united people, then I can make the entire world Krishna conscious. And we have 25 Zoom participants today. We can make 2 universes Krishna conscious if we are simply united for the cause of helping people to connect to Krishna, helping really, really sincerely, seriously, finding out newer ways, not like, putting them at the gunpoint and telling, chant Hare Krishna. We just make Hare Krishna so appealing that they feel, oh, just like apple. Just like if you do not have an Apple phone, definitely in terms of service, in terms of durability, in terms of their quality, they're really good. They're really good. They're the best smartphones and laptops in the market. But just imagine what a brand value they have created. And Apple is not run by demigods of heavenly planets, it's run by these human beings, we all human beings. If we all as human beings can create Apple, which can create such branding of high quality electronics products, can we not create a brand of bhakti where people feel proud of being connected with Dasosmi family and chanting Hare Krishna? So that is intelligence, and we have really serious intelligence. We have so many people from IIT, IIM. I think Dasosmi family is blessed with so much of intelligence. If these IIT and engineers and whatever all graduates we have, actually, I don't think any group would be having so much of intelligence and intellectuals. We have IIM, we have IITs, we have chartered accountants, we have very good designers. Our designs, the codes, really, it's really powerful. So we have so much talent. So why utilize these talents just for selfish enjoyment? Why not really scratch our brains? Really scratch our brains to make Krishna consciousness, bhakti, a superior brand than Apple. That's why I have started taking Apple every day. And also using Apple so that I can really, that's my goal. That I'm really impressed the way they have created a brand. And that will attract unlimited mercy of Srimati Radharani. If someone is interested in bhakti, it's our duty to offer him measures, offer him methods so that he can connect to Krishna. But if we really want to get the supreme blessings of Srimati Radharani, then we must see that we utilize our intelligence to make the uninterested people interested in Krishna bhakti. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki Samavet Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Anyone has one or two questions? Yes, Selja Mataji has one question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Dandavat Pranam. It was a wonderful session. Prabhuji, I have a question. Like, when we approach to somebody like seriously, like two, three times, and then suddenly we get an answer, see, everybody has a time to go back to Godhead, and you don't create your own time.
Yes.
So after that, we have nothing to say.
Yes.
सबका अपना अपना टाइम है जाने के लिए, भगवान ने सबका टाइम तय किया हुआ है.
Yes.
तो फिर हम उसके बाद पीछे हो जाते हैं. We cannot say anything.
Yes. So everyone has definitely got the time, but being your well-wisher, I want to reduce your time in material world, because material world is a place of suffering. And
And
whether
those
you
who are
accept me as a well-wisher or not, I will still always eternally be your well-wisher. Whether you know what is good for you or not, I know what is good for you. And I will pray, I will beg, I will fall at the feet. Prabodhananda Saraswati says that the best act of preaching is fall at the feet of a person and beg to him that you are a great soul and I am a fallen soul. Please, please practice bhakti. And seeing our humility, people's heart will get melted. If we really want to become instrument of compassion of Srimati Radharani, the first and foremost quality that we must try to develop is humility. Without having humility, our preaching will have no effect in the hearts of others. So if someone is telling that I have my own time, that means seeing us, he is not feeling inspired. Like if one is taking the rasgulla and glorifying the rasgulla and really happy, and others are seeing how happy he is in seeing rasgulla, will he tell that I have my own time when I will take rasgulla? He will say, I want rasgulla.
yes,
So we must, instead of thinking it is their fault, we must, like we say, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. But are we becoming happy? Are we really seriously transforming? And when people see seriously that we are transforming and how we are so happy, how we have become so nice, so humble, so gentle, people will grab bhakti from us. Yes, so they will never tell that we have time. And we must always be in a humble mood, telling that I got so much of benefit, so I just want to help that you get also the benefit. Whether you accept it or not, as a service, I would definitely continue helping you, telling you. No, it is up to you. You have got the freedom and independence. Right? And sooner you accept it, the sooner you will get rid of so much of suffering. Yes. Does that answer your question?
yes, Prabhupada.
So a great saint has said that we must try to preach every time, always, and whenever it is required, we can speak. That means preaching by example of our life is the best preaching. We must really endeavor to create a serious transformation in our lives. And seeing that transformation, people will get inspired to also create that transformation in their lives. Right? There is no example of people in this world who are humble, no example of people who are gentle and caring, loving. So by offering sincere care, genuine care, we can actually inspire people that yes, bhakti is working. I also want to be happy. Who doesn't want to be happy, tell me? And everyone knows that the pursuit of material happiness is simply an illusion. simply an illusion. Who doesn't know it? Everyone knows it. But it is our fault that we are not able to offer them a path where they can practice bhakti very, very happily and comfortably. Yes, so it's our fault. We must, and that is why whatever situations we are facing while dealing with others in terms of preaching, we must actually tell to someone who can help us, because that's how the training happens. And much of it depends on our sincere prayers and to Krishna to help us. We must really, really beg to Krishna to help us, to help others. Yes, Sweta Mataji has a question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam.
Yes.
Prabhuji, I have two questions.
Yes.
One is
You are allowed to ask one question at a time.
yes, one only. First, Prabhu, कि आप जब ने बोला कि there are 40,000 scorpions biting at the time of death. Do the devotees also have to go through such pain at the time of death?
Yes, on a physical level, the devotees also have to go through the same pain. But the devotees, the difference is they don't have to go through the suffering. So pain is compulsory, but suffering is optional. Like for example, during the COVID, so there was one day we were doing relief work. We were giving food almost like every day to the hospitals, because second wave was really bad. We got some sponsorship from Coal India Limited, who gave us a lot of money to distribute food, and we were making for every day 5,000 packets of prasadam, and we are delivering it. And our Sibaji Prabhu was in charge of delivering, and he wanted a car, so he took the car. And one day it was really it was like cyclone and so much of wind. I said, if you go there, the trees are falling and everything, there may be accidents and all, but still Sivaji Prabhu went, and one tree fell and the car was really damaged. Now imagine another person's car is damaged, and I saw then Sivaji Prabhu said that the car needs to go to because he was little afraid that if it's because I had already said to him that be careful, there may be accidents, so better let the truck go and they distribute and you do not go today. But he said no, I have to go and all these things. I said, you be very, very careful. And he was little somewhere careless, or he was little afraid that Prabhuji had said. And then I went, and still I had an accident, and the car is having so much of dents all around. And he was telling, I think the car needs to go for servicing. I said, what is the meaning car needs to go for servicing? Did you meet with an accident today? He said, no, a little bit of dent. And then I went and I saw there are serious dents. I said, okay, so why do you have to tell some lies or try to beat around the bush? Anyway, it will go for servicing. And anyway, there is insurance and it will get taken care, or we'll have to spend some money. But imagine someone else who is really attached to the car. And he has already said that don't take the car because you may meet an accident. And then you go and you really meet an accident, and then there are dents, and you really become wild. So the pain of the accident of the car is compulsory. But the suffering when the car goes through an accident is optional. So the body is like the car of the soul. So it's whether it is Sri Nitai Das car or Srila Prabhupada's car or Sweta Prasad's car or anyone's car which goes out in a cyclone and there are trees falling, the trees will fall, the car will have dents. But how much we will suffer with the dents of the car depends on the advancement of our Chetana, of our consciousness. So, in this way, devotees also have to undergo the pain of the diseases and old age and death, but they have the choice, or not just devotees, everyone have the choice to whether to accept the suffering involved in the pain or not accept it. Right? One can be completely aloof from the suffering. Rather, Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, who got the most severe type of cancer, that is melanoma cancer, which is the most painful of all the cancer. And Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj in his book Spiritual Warrior writes that I am grateful to my cancer cells that they are helping me to realize and experience pain so that I can help others to eradicate others' pain. Because until unless I experience pain, how can I help others to eradicate pain? And I am grateful to those cancer cells because they are helping me to remember Krishna. And I am grateful to these cancer cells that previously I used to go here and there to meet people, but because I got this cancer, so many people are coming and meeting those people just to sow a cut seed. They are coming and meeting me, and I am getting opportunity to meet so many people and preach here in the deathbed. So this is elevation of consciousness. So if the consciousness is elevated, pain, which is a compulsory factor of the material body, will become optional as a suffering because of the elevation of the consciousness. Yes? Does that answer your question?
Haribol, 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 Prabhu.
So
This
that
is
is
really
why
amazing.
if we can elevate our consciousness and understand that we are not this body, the pain that we are experiencing is not the pain that we have. The soul is completely aloof from the pain. The soul is neither man nor woman, nor black or white, nor intelligent or foolish. The soul is completely aloof from the body, nor thin or fat. So if we can try to help ourselves come to this level of consciousness, then we'll not be suffering the pain. Yes, Devasis Prabhu, and then Kushal Vihari Prabhu.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, my question is like this. Like Krishna consciousness, there are so many other tenets which also preach reaching the same goal. Krishna as a supreme power, supreme Lord. Through some other tenets. So my question is divided into two parts. One, is it also not wise that we kind of synergize all these energies and then work together towards a better world? Is part one. And part two, whether there is a I mean, as a preacher, do you draw a line where and how much effort you would spend in talking to people and then like trying to help them understand the goal of accepting that eventuality and then follow a particular path.
Yeah. So the first question Prabhu is asking about how nice it would be if all the various organizations or the groups that are practicing bhakti or that are practicing spirituality, if all of them can be united and we can really work towards a singular goal. So for that to happen, we need strong administration, because uh, you see various organizations, they can only be united based on a single administration, and that single administration have to be aloof from these organizational aspects. Administration means kings. The condition of India or condition of the world is like this because there are no saintly kings now. Krishna, he is telling yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata dharma samsthapanarthaya. I have come to establish religion, and Krishna is not giving Bhagavad Gita to any sage. Sages are supposed to distribute spiritual knowledge, correct? Rishis are supposed to distribute spiritual knowledge, but Krishna is not giving Bhagavad Gita to rishis. He is giving Bhagavad Gita to Raj rishis. The condition of modern society is because we have failed to create Raj rishis, to create politicians or kings who are rishis, who are not just rajas. And that is why, until unless that is created, no matter how wonderful organizations we may have, they can never get all united. We are trying, like in ISKCON, we are trying to unite the Gaudiya Maths, unite all the four sampradayas and everything. We are trying our level best. But if there is a king who facilitates this, then it becomes very, very easy. Very, very, very easy. And we are lacking that. And that is why Srila Prabhupada always advised us not to get involved into too much of politics, government affairs and everything, because the politicians and the kings, they are not Rajarishis. And Srila Prabhupada ensured that ISKCON operates like a completely independent organization, so that it has influence and authority to has its own rules, which cannot be tampered by any government. We see many of the temples of India which are visited by crores of people. Crores of people visit Tirupati, crores of people visit Jagannath temple at Puri, crores and crores. And the government is doing very good management. Now in Puri, they are building a beautiful 75-meter of boundary around the temple, and you feel like you have reached Vaikuntha. So beautiful. But since these politicians and kings are just rajas, not Raj Rishis, they are not worried about creating a facility of spiritual training in these temples for the pujaris and also for the visitors. And that's why so many people, they complain at why these pujaris, they behave in a different way. And they may go to the temple, but they are not getting educated about where they have come. They go give some donation and put some puja and they just come back. So it's not that there is lack of spirituality. People are still very, very spiritual minded, even in India. If you go to Tirupati, if you go to Govardhan, if you go to Dwarka, so many people, they come. But if the government...
Just a small What my reading of spirituality of Indian people are mostly because
Just wait 1 minute. I will plug power because it's. Yeah. Yeah, now you can speak.
yeah. So my understanding of spirituality of people mostly in India is that we kind of establish that as a give and take relationship. I pray to God because I expect certain things, or I'm in trouble, so I pray, okay, please resolve my trouble. If I have so much, if I get, I'm surplus or deficit, then I pray to God, okay, if you make me surplus, I will give you this much, donate this much. So mostly, there is when you define or when you relate spirituality to bhakti, so there are maybe very fewer percentage of people who find that they relate bhakti to spirituality. And most in majority of the cases, it is a give and take relationship. Okay. I am I go to temple because I expect the God to give back some, because I okay दर्शन हो गया तो मैं चढ़ाव कुछ कर दिया, पूजा कर दिया, so I expect that God to bless me with certain things. So that way, maybe the spirituality is not understood as what is the
Yeah,
what could be
correct.
the
So because why it is not understood? Because there is no facility for for making the people trained. The very fact that they have come to a temple, when, and the way what you are speaking, the level, it's a very high level. Puranas explain that there are 4 levels of people who approach God. First is on the level of fear, which is lowest, कि डर के मारे गड़बड़ ना हो जाए जीवन में. And the second level is desire. And third level is duty. And fourth level is love. So someone who is coming to temple with a desire to get something, give and take, scriptures glorify him. Bhagavad Gita glorifies him. Krishna glorifies him. So they are not ordinary people. And they are in crores in India. But what our kings or the politicians are, they are making the temple very look beautiful and everything, but there is no facility or proper training. And that is why there is no unity. And there are different organizations coming up to create, to remove that vacuum, right? You see, if there is a vacuum of lack of training, and various different autonomous organizations are coming to remove that vacuum, that is where they are doing very good. But the administration cannot be united until unless one administration unites everything, and that will happen when the king does it. The king used to appoint the scholars in his court and the brahmanas, and these are appointed brahmana boards. They will, in my entire kingdom, propagate spirituality. That was, and then how everyone will be united. इन्हीं से ही भक्ति लेना है. Otherwise, king had danda. If you do not attend his class, Hare Krishna. And that too, there would be a Brahmana board. The Brahmanas will also have, like these 1,000 families, the king will make announcement, this will be taken care by this sadhu, and you have to attend his classes. What to speak of 5,000 years ago during Yudhishthir Maharaj's time, just 400 years before, there was a king in Ban Vishnupur. There is a place in Bengal called Vishnupur. The king name was Birambir. He had made Ekadasi as compulsory, and everyone is supposed to attend the class of Srinivas Acharya. And he had appointed that Srinivas Acharya will give class, and everyone is supposed to attend class in the Ekadasi, and Ekadasi is compulsory. And everyone is united. There is no question of disunity. So that's lacking. And instead of trying, okay, let's create now politicians and all, it's a very difficult task. So better, Srila Prabhupada also tried a lot to meet lot of politicians. Srila Prabhupada wrote a glorious letter to Mahatma Gandhi. Said that, Srila Prabhupada wrote that you really did a business that others didn't do. Now India is having freedom, having independence. Let's join hands. I will write nice books, and you have that fame of being a Raja, Mahatma, and everyone respects you. You utilize your fame, now distribute Bhagavad Gita, and let the other politician manage the affairs of the country. And Mahatma Gandhi didn't hear the advice. And Srila Prabhupada wrote, this is about in 1947, 48, Prabhupada wrote that letter. And if you do not do it, you will see that you will meet an inglorious death. And Mahatma Gandhi met an inglorious death in 49 of January of 49. So it's important, administration is important, but the kings, they're just doing administration. First of all, even they are not doing the administration in the right way. They are getting very corrupt and everything. But still, there are many politicians who may not be very corrupt. But the problem is they're simply doing administration. They may be rajas, they're not Raja Rishis. And that is why all these spiritual organizations, even though they want to unite, they cannot unite. Because for getting united, the king, the government has to really get involved. The government has to understand the importance of education. Right? The Britishers, they entered India through education. All our books are transformed and changed. Everyone considers Mahabharata, every intellectual Indian considers Mahabharata and Ramayana as a mythology. Why? Because education. So that's the thing. Okay. And as far as second question was concerned, that how long. So it's not about long or how much. It's about relationships. So we must try to keep very good relationship with people when we are trying to give Krishna to others. And some people will reciprocate in the first go. Some people will not reciprocate. So one needs to be selfless enough that whether one reciprocates or not reciprocates, I will try to keep my relationship nice with these people. Someday they will understand and come. But definitely someone is reciprocating more or demanding more time, I need to give more time to him. That consideration needs to be there. Like someone is really reciprocating more or really wants to know more about Krishna, so I need to give maybe 1 hour in a week to him. But someone is little less, maybe he may require 1 hour in a month. Someone is little lesser, so maybe 1 hour in a 6 months. But it is important to keep relationship nice with everyone, because we really don't know when a person who is reciprocating at the level of needing a time of 1 hour in 6 months may become very serious. So when he becomes serious, then we offer more time to him. So that's how it is. It's based on energy, time, right? Yes. Hare Krishna. Yes, last question by Kushal Vihari Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, this demigods are speaking a philosophy which appears to be a word jugglery.
Yes.
So is it really a true philosophy? I mean, how we're going to understand it? Because demigods are speaking, and then the motive is different, and the philosophy has been spoken with an ulterior motive, basically.
Yes.
So they want something for their own selfish enjoyment.
Yes.
So this is but we are deriving a good lesson of compassion and spreading Krishna consciousness.
Yes.
So just wanted to know that, as a whole, this philosophy is a cooked up philosophy, or it has some
So
other
the
basis
so the
that.
philosophy, the first philosophy is right, the second philosophy is right, but mixing both the philosophy together is wrong. That's what the demigods have done. The first philosophy is really right, that a beggar should also consider the pain of the donor and not ask such a charity that it will become very very painful for the donor. This is right philosophy. And the donor should also understand the pain of the beggar, and sympathizing that he should give a charity which will alleviate the pain of the beggar. Not that if the beggar has a condition, and in that and he has a requirement of 100 rupees, and the donor can really give 100 rupees but he gives 1 rupee, ठीक है, एक 100 लोगों से मांगो जाके, कष्ट करो थोड़ा. So second philosophy is also right, but they clubbed both of them, telling that we are demigods and you are sadhus. You are a sadhu, so you are supposed to be on a more elevated platform, and you should consider our pain much more than your pain, because you are sadhu, you are detached. So this is cooked up philosophy. You cannot force someone to be detached, or you cannot just tell that I will give you pain because you are detached. So just because he is detached, that doesn't give me that it is not a logic to give him pain. Anyway, Prabhuji, you are detached from these pains and pleasures. Just like imagine you invite some devotee to your house, and then you cook some prasadam, and the dal has, or the sabji has lot of salt, and then the Prabhuji says it is a lot of salt. Prabhuji, you are sannyasi, you are beyond this salt or not, or taste or not. So just accept it. So this is the philosophy. Yes, a sannyasi is supposed to be not seeing the distinction between whether it is salt or not. Whatever is coming, that is Krishna's mercy, one should take. But that is a personal application of the sannyasi. I should not help the sannyasi apply it forcefully. The spiritual principles are always personal, right? And it should not be applied to others. I will help you apply these spiritual principles. That is why personally, knowingly, I added more salt. That is Ramchandra Puri's mentality, right? This is offensive mentality. So that's how their demigods, the philosophy has proven. The first and second part both are correct. When they are clubbed together and spoken in a way to tell Dadhichi that you are a sage and your pain is lesser than my pain. But why? Why his pain will be lesser than your pain? Pain is pain, right? At least you are living, he is dying. But then Krishna wanted the demigods to learn the lesson of detachment from Dadhichi. And that's why he sends, because he knows that Dadhichi can easily give the boons. Yes.
Yes, thank you, Ro. And actually, regarding this helping others and spreading in getting Krishna consciousness, so as you were giving example of Apple and other like other businesses who give so much advertisement to sell their product, the problem is actually they are offering sense gratification. They
Yes.
are offering temporary, immediate pleasures.
Yes.
But the pleasure which we are offering, it's not immediate pleasure. It is actually the long goal, so that there is one difficulty for people to understand what you are offering me is going to give me results. I don't know after how many lifetime, whether in this life or who knows after the life. So that problem
So
comes in between.
that is why as grihasthas we should see that what immediate pleasure we can give and immediate material help we can give to outside people and help them connect to us first, and then we can help them connect to Krishna. Like just I gave an example of cakes, like Mataji prepares so nice cakes. That can be the most glamorous, glorious preaching venture. Similarly, astrology, it's immediate help. Similarly, career guidance, we have so much of IITians, IIM graduates. I cannot give career guidance, but you all can give career guidance. And that is immediate help. Now they can get career counseling and guidance from outside people also. But they will only get career guidance then. But if devotees give career guidance, they will get career guidance and also Krishna. That is advantage of devotees giving career guidance. They can get cakes anywhere. But if devotees prepare cake, they will get cake and also Mahaprasad. They can meet any astrologer. And if someone is from IIM and we can try to see that others get into IIM, they will be very, very grateful. Oh, this person from IIM helped me to get into IIM or IIT. So we can give career guidance, we can do counseling, we can do so many other things which can give immediate help to people and help people to connect to us. And people, they're connecting to us, we must understand they're getting an opportunity to connect to Krishna. Yes. So in this way, we can do that. Anyway, people will go for career guidance. Anyway, people will go for purchasing cakes. They'll go for an astrologer. They'll go for having some knowledge about some things, some consultation. So as devotees, as grihasthas, we should see that how our profession, how the whatever we have learnt in our professional field, material field, how we can try to see that utilize those things, because those things can give immediate guidance, immediate help to people and help people to easily connect with us, and use that connection to help them connect to Krishna, just like a bridge. Just like a bridge connects from one end to another. So these people are in the end of material things, and we help these material things and utilize these material things to connect these people to spirituality. They don't need Krishna, but they need career guidance. So we give career guidance, they become grateful to us, and we tell, oh, you are so grateful to me and you are telling me, and then they will tell what gift I can give you, and we tell that, can you just spend 10 minutes in a day to chant Hare Krishna? That's the only gift I need. So yes, yes, I'll take 10 minutes to chant Hare Krishna. That's the trick. Yes. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी एक
Yes,
चीज और ऐड टू रेल विहार में कब हो रहा है प्रभु
yes, yes.
आई एम रियली लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड फॉर इट
Yes, so we'll have definitely Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.